Right, before we get stuck into the beginning of our journey into systems thinking, I just thought I'd set a little bit of a context in terms of our understanding of how big this field of systems thinking actually is. Back in March of 2016, I did a bit of a lexical density inquiry of a few search terms in Google Scholar. And so, for example, I found that there was 94,600 references to chaos theory. There were 112,000 references to systems thinking. Just the other day, I revised that search, and the number of articles has gone up to 151,000. That's a 35% increase. Interestingly enough, the increase in complex systems back in 2016 was 1.85 million. Now it's 2.12, which actually means that that's a growth rate of only 15%. So the literature on systems thinking in those period of time would appear to be outgrowing that of complex systems by a factor of over 100%. If we look at the search trends over the last 5 years, we see a very, very interesting pattern revealed. As you can see there, the blue line, that refers to those search terms that are systems thinking, and the red line on the graph is search terms where complex systems is used. And as you can see, there's an almost exact symmetry. Obviously, right towards the end recently, there's a little bit of a strange pattern going on where systems thinking has probably changed slightly in relation to the searches on complex system. But it lets you see that the concept of systems thinking and the concept of complex systems are very, very interwoven in their use, as reflected on Google search trends. If we consider that, there's actually a mean difference between them over the period of time of only 20, a median difference, I should say, of only 20%. If we look at the geographic breakdown, we start to see some very, very interesting figures. In Australia, it's predominantly 60% of searches, or thereabouts, 59%, is systems thinking, as is the case in New Zealand. In South Africa, it's 71%. In Canada, it's 58%. In the UK, it's 59%. So in those countries, there's a relative slight overrepresentation of systems thinking over complex system. If we look at the US, it's relatively even. If we look at Sweden, complex systems is perhaps more common in the searching. But it's very, very interesting to see that over the 5-year period, the trend in Google searches for both complex systems and systems thinking show a very, very tight interrelationship.